Okay, this is a long night, and I'm getting into my later. This is gonna be a part 3 to video making. If I upload this tomorrow or something, that's why I had the same shirt and same clothes and everything on. And I didn't think this was gonna be that long of a video, but then I started thinking about it. I'm talking about what my gaming history. Why I'm collecting games. Why, if you watch my videos, some of the weirder games I play, some of the games that I don't think is that bad. Okay, back to it. I finally got an Xbox One, and that's actually not that long ago when I come to think about it. From that, I had a white 360, I had a Wii. People made fun of me for the games I had. I remember things were finally looking up because I had a PS4, I had an Xbox One, I had an Xbox 360 because my mom surprised me with it because I got me a few backwards compatible games for it because I heard they're going to be backward compatible from scam websites, and I really wanted to play them on my Xbox One because I missed out on them. Because Black Ops 1, I never played on 360. I remember my sister's boyfriend played it. I got to play it on there. And a lot of them I missed out on. And I had Halo, so I finally got all that. And I was able to play 360. And playing 360, I realized is not that bad. And it wasn't that bad. And when I was on my white 360, by the way, this is why I wanted to get a 360 again. When I had my white 360, I could afford games. There was a lot of cheap games. I remember I got Vanquish, which I really wish I could find for this cheap nowadays because it's $10. I'm just kind of a cheapskate when it comes to games. Vanquish, a game made by Sega, kind of like Halo, I'd want to say, but third-person shooter, I want to say. I don't remember perfectly, but it was a really good game. And I remember it was really cheap. I got it for around $3. So when I had my 360, my Xbox One and PS4, I remember looking back at those games. They were cheap and they were fun. Something for me to play. I didn't have that many friends, so I played games. That's why I went to. I was already beating all my games. I couldn't afford Xbox One games or PS4 games. And yeah. And eventually I got my 360 again. I was ranking up games, and instead of buying expensive $20 games, I was going and finding as many cheap games as I could. I remember I got Skyrim, which I didn't get into immediately. I was starting to get into it maybe last year or so. And Kitten, get out of here. You're not allowed to be in my room because it's messy. Okay. Don't hiss up at me, okay. Like I was saying. So I got 360. I started realizing this is really good. I just didn't know it. I was just I knew some games were on, but I wasn't able to afford a lot of the games at the time, and we were doing better. So my mom would occasionally give me more money. So I went from having a DS Lite and being so poor that back then I was able to afford games. The only reason I was able to afford a DS because I went to my dad's every once in a while. My dad was doing good, and he helped me out. He gave me Christmas. And looking back at it now, I really wish I could have done more for my sister because one of my sisters doesn't have a dad, so she didn't get anything from it. Looking back at it now, I feel really bad about it. But that's why I got games. And so in my mind, just hard to think about things sometimes. I'm trying to, and I'm kind of half asleep at the same time. And I started to think about it. These games are really good, and I can afford a lot of them, so I started getting a lot of them. And then I started thinking, I wonder how good older game consoles were. I got a PS3 at a pawn shop. I got it at a pawn shop for around $70. And I remember I got a couple games for it. Weirdly, I told you I had Black Ops 1 on I had it on the Wii, I think, but I had an old copy of it. I couldn't play it. And I had it on the 360, and I went to the pawn shop. I just seen what games they had for it. I wanted to give me a quick game that I knew how it worked. I got that because it was $5. So I got Black Ops 1, and and I didn't know some things about the PS3. I had no experience on the PS3. I had no experience on it. And first of all, I realized I could play for free online. I could never play online because I think I played online on the Xbox One when I just got it because it was around Christmas time. I was only kid then. Like, my mom didn't have to buy Christmas present for anybody else for once. So she was trying to spoil me since, since we were finally doing good, I guess she wanted to help her kids like every parent does. Like, if I had a kid and I was doing good money after so long, I would want to help my kid too. And I guess my mom's always one of those people that just like seeing her kids happy. Trying to think, sorry. If I pause a lot, my brain doesn't work that well lately. But she got me that, and I started getting a lot of 360 games, more than I had. And one of these days, I still had that shelf that I started off with putting my games on. I really want to put all my games on it and see how they hold, But I was so proud of my little game collection because I filled up the first half of the shelf. And from where I started, that was so big. It's probably maybe like around 20 games, but that was huge for the time. And I started realizing, I wonder how good these old consoles are. And I remember eventually I was checking out the PS3, not the PS3. I was checking out the PS2, the Xbox. I was looking into them, but I didn't have one yet. I was looking, we're in Nacogdoches, Texas, was they didn't have a lot of pawn shops or used game stores. Well, they only had used game stores, so, that's why I do a lot of pawn shopping now, but over there I couldn't do it. But I started getting a lot of cheap games. Someone said the PS3 was backwards compatible with the PS2, which turns out to be wrong, but I got me Soul Calibur 2 and 3, which was like combo pack. That was my first PS2 game, but I kept it, even though I couldn't use it. I guess someone wanted me to keep it because I remember I tried to trade it in, but no one wanted to buy it for a reasonable price. But I remember at the same time, I eventually got for my birthday, I got a 3DS. That was really cool because I had a DS a while back. But I remember when I was little, when the 3DS started to be popular, I got a new 3DS. I could never afford it. I remember it looked so cool, but I never even asked for it because I knew we couldn't afford it because, it was still new at the time, and all these other kids had it. I was always really curious about it, but I knew I couldn't afford it, so I never asked for it. But I was finally able to afford it. Really, I knew nothing about it. All I knew was I really liked the DS, and it was backwards compatible. I wanted to play some of the old games I used to play on it. Looking at my time, Jesus, this is going to be a long video. But, eventually I got it, and that 3DS didn't last at all. I remember I took it to school with me and everything. I was really proud of it. I had some of my stepsister's old game for the Wii, which I actually traded with people for 3DS games. And, so I had 4 good games, like Mario. I had Mario. I think I had a couple regular DS games. I had a Pokemon game that I never got into because my DS didn't last that long. I had it for 2 months. The thing ended up breaking on me 3 times. So eventually I traded in. I got me a PS Vita. My uncle gave me a little bit extra money, and I got me a PS Vita. And only thing that sucked about the PS Vita, I didn't know you had to have memory cards. So I didn't get to have So I got me what is it? Little Big Planet, which sucked because that's all I could buy on it. That's all I could play. I couldn't afford any game for a while. But when I started buying, I think eventually I got Minecraft on it, and I couldn't download it without deleting Little Big Planet, which really sucked. Well, I loved the PS Vita, but for the first year of me having it, I couldn't buy any game. But eventually it broke down and got me a bigger memory card. I think eventually I deleted Minecraft for a little bit, but I got a memory card now. I can play all the games. But I remember after that we moved back to Denton, where I am now, and they have a lot more thrift shops here and everything. I'm trying to speed it up because I feel like my mind's slowing me down a little bit. But I got me a PS2 at a thrift shop, which was so cool. I was finally able to play these games. I remember I had a DS. Well, I didn't have a DS straight ahead. But I also got me a PSP at a thrift shop, which I never even knew about a PSP. I'm serious. I didn't know anything about games. So I didn't even know a after watching videos, because I was watching videos, so I knew it existed. But when I was a kid, I didn't even know a PSP existed. So when I first got it, it's actually sitting here. These games, and I'm gonna say, sorry if these videos seem to be lag on. My videos don't get much Traxxam anyway, so I know these videos aren't going to get a huge appeal. So it is kind of cool to talk about my gaming history. But where was I? I got a PSP, and it was so cool to compare the PSP to the PS Vita. You know, because it was like, I remember this was $20. My PS2 even came with a game in it. These were $20. The Thrift Giant always gives you games in it. Like, mostly if they have a game with it, they'll throw it in and will still give me the case for it. But I got this, and I got, I forgot what it was. I have it somewhere. I just don't feel like looking for it. It's one of, the platformers on it. I don't know all the names because I didn't grow up on these. I'm just kind of going back and looking at these games because I could never afford these games. So I started getting it. So I started getting these games, and I realized how cheap these games were. I remember it's so cute looking back at it. I remember it had such little games, but I was so proud of them. I remember all my PSP games had cases. Sorry. All my PSP games had cases on. I had such little DS games at the time that I didn't even care about having them in cases. I had some of them on cases, you know. But then I started every once in a while. I was still getting expensive games every once in a while. Then I started realizing that games got cheaper, and I would start to spend hours in the game stores just looking through all the cheap games, buying as many cheap games as possible. I started doing this because I just like seeing my collection expand, no matter how crappy the games were. Because you know how cool it would have been as a kid to have this many games. But like I was saying, I started slowly expanding my game collection. I had a PS2, I had a PS3, a PS4, a PSP, a PS Vita. I think I did that right. And then I realized that it could play, my PS2 and my PS3 could play PS1 games. Well, I got me a couple of them. I still don't have that many PS1 games. Just don't find that many cheap ones at thrift shops or all that. But I remember eventually my mom started to take me on jobs where we tile floor, rip up tile, and I would get a good bit of money from that. I would get $60 there, $60 there, and I remember. So I'm trying to think. But I remember with one of my paychecks, I got me an original DS Lite, and I got me a Xbox, original Xbox. I didn't know anything about an original Xbox. All I knew was I was watching like gaming videos, gaming collection, and I wanted to be like that. I want to have all the consoles because no matter what thrift shop I go to, no matter what used shop I go to, if I see a game, I can have it. You know, I love that thing because I remember being so restricted as a kid to the games I could play, how cheap they are. All these games I wanted as a kid was slowly getting cheaper. I could finally start affording them, you know, and it was such a cool thing. And I'm trying to think about what I was going. And I was collecting for the PSP, and I was so blown away by the PSP because the DS was good. I love the DS. Like, they had good games like Phineas Ferb was my first 3D platformer game that I had, you know. And I was blown away from that because I forgot what game it was. It was not Crash Bandicoot. It was like Sly Cooper or something like that. You know, one of those types of game. I think it was like a Ratchet and Clank game, but it was the little robot sidekick. Like it was like, you know, point is, it was really advanced for the time. I was thinking, this game was so cool because I was doing all this research. This game came out when I was still playing these old games I thought was really good. And it amazed me that these came out at the same time. And I think and then the only console left, I actually skipped one. I remember before I had the PS2 when I was still in Nacogdoches, before I was doing old games, I got a Wii U. And because taxes was coming in, it was around my birthday, and my mom asked me what I wanted. I was slowly starting to get into collecting thing, and I didn't know anything about it. I'm gonna stop this video now. It's gonna be another part to this video, and I'm sorry I'm spamming YouTube with these, but I'm finally starting to put videos out regularly. So please like the next video. See you guys later.